I'm going to break the shackles that for so long had bound me to the lost souls in the ghetto.
Can't be on the same page when we in two totally different chapters.
So how many times we gonna watch our brothers perish?
They're already killing us.
Because you're poison.
I am whatever you want me to be. Do you really think I asked to be like this?
Please live it in.
I'm sorry for the pain I've dealt.
This isn't my fault, but something is off.
I am a human being.
How did I get here?
Your hideaway jackknife against your skin. Find parasites in it.
When I say CC, you say P. CC. CC. When I say drop the, you say Mike. Drop the. Mike. Drop the. Mike. When I say I love, you say poetry. I love. Poetry. I love. Poetry. Give it up for drop the mic. Let's get it started.
What's up, CCP? How y'all feeling today? I am so happy to hear that. Welcome to a special edition of Drop the Mic. We are super excited about this particular show because it's a departure from our normal show. It's not going to be a competition show today, just featuring our students from the Community College of Philadelphia. We actually have some special guests with us today, and it's going to be a showcase of student poets from Community College of Philadelphia, from the Drop the Mic program, but also from Temple University's Babel Slam team. So can we give it up for all of the students who are here today representing Community College of Philadelphia and Babel. Let's get it started. Special edition of Drop the Mic. Everybody say yeah! Yeah! All right, so poet on deck is River, and coming to the mic first, we have Gajet. Please, everyone, put your hands together for Gajet!
My world collapses often enough, you'd think I would learn to make love to the rubble. Overstay my welcome, make out with steel girders that bury my heart in cement 14 inches from plastered sternum. Spoon the live current snapping at my neuroses, hold the fingers of burst pipes on an organ church eyelash, bite the shoulder of office door, shards tangle up in my tongue as it bleeds into me. My lips oxidize on Mercutio's humor's marrow. Swallowing sickle cells from the noisy busybody. Think maybe this is just happening to me because it's 2 a.m. again, and 2 a.m. does not handle me well. 2 a.m. thoughts should stay in dreams. They should be showering, they should be of loving myself because I showered, laundered, read Torah, learned Hebrew, spoke Spanish, all the things adults told me would make these wounds heal. 2 a.m. thoughts do no such thing. They keep me crying, singing to the same song on repeat, like this brain meshing needle on skipping record. 2 a.m. thoughts shave my brain of the friends I pretend to hold dear. They warn me of hatred. 2 a.m. thoughts tell me I shouldn't exist. 2 a.m. thoughts want the world to pause. Just for a moment, for a breath. 2 a.m. thoughts bring the skyscraper in this chest to my knees, the scream bottle up in my rotten teeth. 2 a.m. thoughts occur every hour. When will I want to live? And if my cruel irony is to continue carrying my own casket, will this Mercutio tale end with the weight relieved only as I lay the dirt? Only as I lay in the dirt, fetal position, covering myself, hoping the 2 a.m. thoughts just go away. 2 a.m. thoughts bring the girders through my chest and bury my heart separate from body. 2 a.m. thoughts coat steel beams with oxidizing wants. 2 a.m. thoughts cancel my dreams of electric geese. 2 a.m. thought, my world collapses so often, I should learn to make love to the rebel. 2 a.m. thought, you could use the globe to slash your buoyancy or this knife to weigh your wrist.
So the poet on deck is Emmy, and coming to the mic now, we have River. Please make some noise for River.
As she does, she broke bread today, reached out to her God for prayer, asked for a new home to call a body, a body. A body be such a damned thing. A body be such a welcome mat for another body to burrow into, for skin to stretch, for skin to lament, for skin to stretch, for skin to lament, for skin to make its own church. As he does, he broke bread today, asked his body if this time it was his, and his whole damn body shivered back, has been shivering back, knew it was cosmic, knew it was and is new, knew its ashes created another air, a blessing, and a body doesn't need to be, and a body doesn't need to remind itself what it is, because we do. We name it. We etch its dirt into our bones and see how they bury us. Our bodies not lined up with your idea of human. We claim other people's bodies and make them up for ourselves. And so, my frame is still here. My frame is still hanging on a wall. When will I take me off? And he broke bread today, and he reminded himself that he is heaven, that he is always his own God. I want to find me in the shivers. I want to find me be my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
The poet on deck is Ari. And coming to the mic, we have Ebony. Please put your hands together for Ebony.
I know we have all seen the post on Instagram. So many of us felt obligated to tell Trump and his prejudiced, obnoxious fan base that we are not our ancestors. We denounce their names, condemn their patience, criticize their legacies, attack their dead bodies dangling from trees. We vilified their voices until their screams were silenced. Be quiet, black slave, your voice no longer matters anymore. Silence your soul, you're dead now. We spit on their branded hands. Like the saliva from our mouths could soothe the pain of an iron burn. We demoralize their beatings, mock their lashes. Your bloodshed has no importance in this new age world. We discredit their love. Mothers had to kill their own babies to set them free, but we call them cowards. We try to prove that we are not them while using phrases like, you can get these hands. Black people, really look at your hands. You have slave hands. Blood dripping from wiping up your brother's blood because it's the closest ritual you can get to a funeral, but they were clean the day you had to wash a dead white man. Pricked from cotton, but softened before you served the food, engraved with torture, chained with tears. Dear Trump, I will speak for the one who was proudly a descendant, tired of running now, unapologetic and unafraid to put you in your place, remembering the pain you caused me in the past, remembering your lineage, the Ku Klux Klan, your white privilege. But let me give you some advice. I got my ancestors' blood on ice, and bowing down won't suffice. We have lost enough limbs before, bent over, more brittle bones breaking. I'd rather take your life. Now, I've never been the type to condone violence, but you bring it out of me because you don't care about my life. I wonder how Mrs. Trump could be your wife. I wonder how your kids could be a part of your life. Your daughter couldn't see you talking about her assets just ain't right. I wonder if you talked about your daughter's ass her whole life, or was it just table talk? Is that the way we speak in our home? It's crazy what America has condoned, but I, the descendant of the slave you own, in full spirit, didn't forget what you did. I have been keeping in the spirit of revenge. I will curse the path you walk. Unite with the spirit of the past and war. I will channel my pain. Do what my forefathers wanted to do. We will outnumber your prejudiced troops and make an example out of you. I will use the pain of the slave you tortured, the one you beat, chained, and took his manhood away, the use of the cotton screw, the torture instruments you used, the women you labeled Jezebels when they were forced to have sex with you, but you grabbed them by the pussies anyways, the arrogance that you still display, the genital torture and castration, the way you hung me and watched me burn, the slaves who sat helplessly and had to watch. We have power now. We will hunt you with our knives, sharpened from agony, coated in distress. We are not afraid of you and have no fear of using violence if we have to. I will go birth of a nation on you. So once again, take my advice. We haven't forgotten, and I am my ancestors, and you don't want the spirit of the past to come back to curse you.
Poet on deck is Ills Wills. Coming to the mic now, we have Ari. Please make some noise for Ari.
Pray for the blood coughed up on bathroom tiles. And the oil slick rivers like black cataracts. I don't believe in God. But I believe in every prayer my mother says for me when we part ways. And for every angel she pins to my lapel. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the nights she spent, back pressed against my door, not knowing if I would see morning. I'm thankful for the belts she hid from me, and the bells that she tied to the front door. I'm thankful for my father, and the diamonds he compressed out of the cold memories of his mother's empty bed. I'm thankful for how he says, asshole and I love you interchangeably. And I'm thankful for how we fall asleep watching Ancient Aliens and wake ourselves up with the black coffee trumpeting of our farts. I'm thankful for the family I was given and the family I've chosen. I'm thankful for good weed and people to smoke with, for bad weed and people to smoke with. I'm thankful for people to smoke with. It's easy to count your blessings. The butterscotch ramblings of a friendly God and of a world where everything fits together like clockwork. Let's start praying for the rain on our parades, for paper cuts and splinters, scraped knees and acne scars, 'cause I'm sorry. But one day, everyone who you will ever love is either gonna die or leave you, so one way or another, you're gonna have to learn how to live without them. And one day, you're gonna forget every good thing that has ever happened to you. You'll play back the best memories of your life, doing your best impression of a broken record, scraping the needle of memory across your skull, hollowing yourself out moment by moment, and you're gonna realize something. You're gonna realize that nothing lasts forever. And that's not something to be afraid of. Shooting stars wouldn't be worth shit if we saw one every night. Just like that same night doesn't have to be that long because you know the sun will rise. So, I guess I'm thankful for the darkness, because how else would I know how bright I shine? I'm thankful for bulimia, because I got to taste my food twice. I'm thankful for bipolar, because I've never known serenity with such certainty. And I'm thankful for being transgender, because I get to be hot in a whole new set of ways. And I'm thankful for people misgendering me, because it gives people a chance to know me a little better. I am blessed by my scraped knees, my crooked teeth, my cracked nails, and my sloppy second. Blessed that my hanging tree got struck by lightning. I like to think God struck it twice for good measure. I've been at death's door enough times to know how to knock right. But I haven't. And maybe the empires that I've built will fall. Maybe every star I've wished on has long since lost its fire. But I want to see my mother hold her grandchild for the first time. I want to see my father try to teach him how to play football and fuck up just as bad as he did with me. I want to meet the next person that I'm going to fall in love with. Because maybe they'll open their eyes when we kiss, just to make sure that I'm still there. Maybe the parents will hate me. Maybe we'll say I love you after every fight. Maybe they'll hold me like the crescent moon holds its own piece of the night sky, just as dark as the rest of the cosmos, but entirely theirs. I cannot fathom what depths of pain the future holds for me. But looking back, I'd do it all over again.
Poet on deck is Ebo. Coming to the mic, we have Ills Wills. Please put your hands together for Ills Wills.
What's up, Marcus Wrightley? So is it a race for peace, pity, or power? Oh, what's going down tonight? Somebody look at your neighbor and say, he ain't the sucker duck type. I said, is it a race for peace, pity, or power? People ponder that being petty is a pastry plate preferably preserved cold. I bet it is. Oh, I bet it flipping is. You probably feed it to your kids. Look at your hands like, neighbor, what it is. I said, look at your hands like your neighbor and say what it is. Look, it doesn't matter how many Philadelphia Peter Piper picked the popular label, picked the peck of pickles, because you be so confused over the details that you forget what the question is. Well, it's not nice, it's rude. You know, calling it roots of voodoo. See, I call it what to do. Some people believe in angels, but not aliens, but that's what few do. Intuition is mutual, a pile of tricks as usual. They say that's an abstract view. You need insurance. I say you just need to be sure in you. Yes, that was fucking beautiful too. Sometimes people curse and they don't know what to do. I said sometimes people curse and they don't know what to do, and then they end up being cursed and they don't know what to do. You see, when I curse, I know how to spell it where it works in reverse. See, in school, my grammar teachers would say that my writings wouldn't work because they wanted me to carry out their spells in my work. But they failed. As you can tell, it didn't work. So when you feel like giving up on yourself and nothing else will work, just know that without you, nothing, because you said it first. My name is Ills Wills Watusi, so that's Ill Will with two Z's in the meanwhile.
So the poet on deck is Osi, and coming to the mic now, we have Ebo. Please make some noise for Ebo.
The story usually in the hood is that your father isn't there. So I learned about, I guess, relationships late. And as you learn later, the more mistakes you make. So these are my mistakes. Interested in the wonder of love, I tracked down a road that I thought filled with hope. My heart bursting at the seams, I began to imagine a world where my soul would feel the fullness that I longed for as a boy. The warmth of a hug, a soothing voice to tell you that it's going to be okay. A touch that would let me know that no matter how many times I convinced myself that I was undeserving, there would always be someone to hold me. But there is no room to coddle a son in the ghetto. I was fearful, but my curiosity outweighed my apprehension. As I plunged deeper down the rabbit hole, I filled the void with strangers. Some were broken, some were bruised. Some filled with so much love that the idea of monogamy sounded like a bird being relieved of its wings. Some I saw as soulmates. But as I began to unravel the mystery of self, I began to see the reflection of what I had become. I saw that even though my heart may have been in the right place, I had gone in the wrong direction. A skeleton that was willing to give my body for the price of seeming unique. I chased, I fought, I pursued my craving with the intention to make complete, not realizing that everyone deserves your gift, but not everyone deserves you. I have chased you for far too long, and I am tired. I have yelled for you for far too long, and I am tired. I believe myself to be worthy of you, but I have yet to believe myself to be worthy of me. I am lost, but I have won, and for that I am grateful. I am sorry, but I am wiser, and for that I am free. right, so the next one that I wrote was because I liked the girl, so I named this poem Vanessa. So far away, but yet so close. Through tumultuous conversations and multiple observations, I delve farther down the rabbit hole than expected. I pick thoughts in the same manner that slaves pick cotton, slow. Careful enough not to damage the very fabric of a relationship I felt worthy of exploring, you budged, but only enough for me to see that your movements were out of uncertainty, not of who I am and what I offer, not of who we were and our possibilities, not of the attraction and the passion that lie dormant within you, but because you were uncertain of you. My conviction made me push forward. My addiction made me push towards you. If communication is the farthest distance, then my confusion came when your mouth said no, but your body language said, take me. Show me that life is not only these pieces of broken hearts that show reflections of emotions stirred and then left too long on the pilot. Show me that love is not just a passing moment. Treat my body like windows to the soul, a mannequin that has worn many faces, tried many outfits, but no matter how many times I put myself on display, deep inside, I still feel naked. Show me that love is more than what they've told me. Show me that sacrifice is not giving up or giving in, but giving to. Because no matter how important the sun, it still dies every night just so the moon can be seen. Thank you.
The poet on deck is Meek Boss. And coming to the mic, we have OC. Please put your hands together for OC.
There are those that say that I need a penis to be a man. And to that I say, my vagina be a manhood. Isn't it just like a man to pucker his lips at some frail lark and try to swallow it whole, to break his teeth on pallid flesh, his mouth foaming with blood by the moon's call, his ancient maw turned sickle, marring bitter teat, his rapture sought only from suckling. Ain't it just like a man to savor in the anguish of his own body, to finger lick at the misery and the marrow of his bones, to love the taste of his own breaking eye, am forced to undress and call the wounds I find body, am forced to watch breasts flounce out from what should be skin to stomach, the sight of someone other than myself in my reflection, to die by the hands of organs made for giving life. My vagina be a manhood. My vagina be a manhood because the only purpose it serves is to consume me. And isn't that the most masculine thing that you've ever heard, that my vagina is a man putting me in a woman's place, enshrining me in a tomb that I didn't ask for? My vagina be a manhood, not because I'm a man forged in a bitter body, but because my body won't cease until it devours me whole. I've been trying to trace the women who walked before me, been looking for their footprints in my soles, been searching my palms for their signatures. Which forgotten grandmother cast the first spell? Did her back arc in a covenant between her and her Lord, her limbs heavy with scripture? Did she dance out her sermons as an offering, her pulse rising up to the sacrifice, the salt of her sweat sanctifying the space is holy? Did she call it voodoo, the way I do? Did she wear all white, the way I do, her skin already dressed for a funeral? Was she orchid stained or chrysanthemum blemished, ordained by the sun? Were they all ministers like Grandma Rita, holy women who walked without shadow, their hair wrapped in cloth, their locks and their witchcraft both illegal, their incantations cast for the day when their daughters could walk free. Am I free? I, who come to worship clothed like a calla lily, anchored atop my ancestors' graves, my skin knowing only mourning anguish christening my brow. I, who come to worship as an act of grief, who've been baptized in the weight of all my suffering, my body only knowing rapture when I speak in tongues, when I catch any spirit but my own in voodoo. The Loa of death wears a chalky face. Our Baron bears his skull at non-believers, ushers us from our pews, mounts our bodies in convulsing communion in voodoo. We welcome death's smile, our bodies twining to greet him, every rhythm in askance, muscles moving with the memory of every grandmother, limbs heavy with all their scripture, knees meeting the same earth that they walked in voodoo. It is the God who swallows your body whole, who engulfs your spirit and ascends you to the Most High, who reminds you that when seeking God, you must only look within. When seeking ancestry, you must only look within. Your pulse is their breath, your blood, the unbroken promise of a better sun. In voodoo, we wear white, not because our skin already be a funeral, but because white be death's true color, black be infinite, our footsteps heavy with every generation that came before us, our souls engraved with spells cast centuries ago. In search of our mother's graves, we find our own bones, learn our spines so we can stand unburdened, and finally, free.
Poet on deck is Faith. And coming to the mic, we have Meek Boss. Please put your hands together for Meek Boss.
Dear Mom, I wanted to take this time to represent, to thank you. You're an angel heaven sent. I look back on all that bullshit I put you through, all your heartaches, from me living the life I was into. Mom, I'm sorry. I swear my head wasn't right. I just smoked and sold drugs all day and night. See, I was a kid, struggling to find my way, so I skipped school to get booked every other day. And robbing stores was part of how I got by, contemplating suicide. So I got high. You try hard, but can never get through to me, constantly telling me what them drugs would do to me. Pops gave up, eventually put me out the crib, made me woman up, and learn from all the shit I did. You prayed for me, especially nights I stayed out, crying relentless, from nightmares of me laid out. Your baby girl, the one you prepped for them spelling bees. I'm too cool for school, Mom. I swear that's what them drugs was telling me. You did everything just to try to keep me. Yet I was still a regular at them speakies. I went from being a role model to blunts and cigarettes, living my life out of fifth for E&J bottle. So one day, I got tired of chasing them slow bucks. Your motivation was key to making me grow up, and just then, I realized all them drugs and money really played me, but your unconditional love, Mom, I swear that's what truly saved me. And just when I almost deprived myself of knowledge, here I stand on Drop the Mic, a student at community college, and it's all for you, Mom. Thank you. The second piece I want to do, I want to talk about strangers. Not just any strangers, those familiar strangers, those I know you but I don't, I speak but I won't type of strangers. These strangers are some distant past, some long ago love that had such a stronghold, tainted territories in an abundance of spiteful words, shoulders and bosoms we once laid, hearts we once mended, now broken into pieces, that whole we once were, now split in two, survived only by familiar scents and scenes, laughs and tones of voices, reminiscing on so much left unsaid and undone, You see, we parted ways way before we were no longer in eyesight. And yeah, though there's still bittersweet laughs and blushings at all that was once good for a time, all that was once good could still never rekindle that flame. They say exes are exes for a reason. Shit, do I know that now. I'm Meek Boss. Thank you.
The poet on deck is Black Cancer. And coming to the mic, we have Faith. Please put your hands together for Faith.
Sitting down to write a love poem reminds me of how the first time we met, I fit between both your palms like sacrifice. That's what I've become 20 years later. The gift you give back to God, knowing you be too human to appreciate it, knowing I be too divine for you to love me. I feel punished for ever calling you Father, placing you upon pedestal, worshiping you like you be something worthy of praise, holding you close like best friend. That's all you ever wanted to be, a donation. Only taking credit after all the work is done. You are the weakest type of man, the type of first love that sets the stage for every man after. I have circles etched into my hands and feet. My mother says I get my freckles from you as if you stained my skin on purpose. I can't love the parts of me that look like you. You haunt my very existence. I hear it in my laugh, creeping up my throat, sitting beneath the slight tilt of my voice. I'm convinced you never wanted to be my father. As my mother covered it up, you were always stuck in traffic. You had more residence in her excuses than you did my life. I pretend this is okay. Let you buy my love when you did come. Let that shirt dry my tears when you stopped coming. Tell myself this is growth when I finally stop crying. Stare at my reflection and want to be that girl today, the one that looks so much like her father. A decade later, I call myself woman, fashion myself in its image every time I try to find someone to love, realize how much of you I see in them, how much that makes me want to run. Did you ruin love for me? Will my kids look like you? Will that make me want to give them up too? Do I look like someone who can't love? I know you tell people about me, about the young girl that's making a life for herself. You lie and tell people you did this, curse my name behind closed doors, and then tell me I'm dead to you. I've never known hypocrisy could be so personal. Even when my mother says I am nothing like you. Dirty rooms do not equate to the life you mess behind. I've spent my whole life picking up after you. And you dare call once a year to say you love me? To smile and say you're so happy I'm still full of joy, still following in your footsteps. Even when I lose myself in love, hoping this will save me, even when failure feels like proof and my face tries to remind me, I am nothing like you, and I will never be.
The poet on deck is Christina O. Coming to the mic now, we have Black Cancer. Please put your hands together for Black Cancer.
Yeah, these lights is bright as shit. Just trying to get this right. All right. Shit.
Summertime boiling. I'm trying to make some scorches. I deserve acknowledgement surviving in this torment. See, Philly ain't for the weak, and plus at any time your life can get aborted. Baby, it is crazy, that's the norm here. See, Eagles on enormous, tripping, get up off that. There's always is a catch when you dealing with connects and some people be on bullshit. Hate to see you forklift if they ain't in the picture with you, getting attention in your portrait. My dick, get up off it, frostbit. My heart, only kind love for my offense. Why scrubs always find drugs and say they off shit? But stay on, they drawn, you a lost sketch. Clowns, rather see me down, dog sit, dog shit. Niggas barking, but they ain't walking it when it comes to these flips, chips, whips, gliss. It when it comes to these flips, chips, chicks, whips, glistening wrists, and anything that label them sick. I'd rather be sitting with bitches than a table with men who hating within but play as a friend. You the equation of phlegm, your day's gonna end. I'm breaking your limbs, won't make you a win, but stay in attempts, fuck out of here. I scream it proudly till a nigga voice crack. Whitney and Bobby. Rest in peace to the legend. Big scenes, I'm bout it. Bodyguard is my guard. Dip being and bobbing. Lead to anything else? Big heat is popping. I ain't losing my life without taking a hitter with me. I need the company. He get ugly, protecting the legacy. Be damn 100 years, you don't let me see. Or take away the comfort of my peace with every piece you resting me in. Tombstone fist wrecking your shit. Dick you pussies carrying estrogen. Never give in to the pressure of another, cause they steam will smother any motherfucker that don't look the better they strength. So financially, mentally, and physically, I'm ready to bench. Press shit like newsletter and men. I'm destined for a better living, so fuck out of here. You never know me. I've been alone all my life, I ain't got a road deep. Fear no man or anything except for God upon me. Why talk when my power gon' speak, nigga? Fuck out of here, you never know me. I've been alone all my life, I ain't got a road deep. I fear no man or anything except for God upon me. Why talk when my power gon' speak? You dig? So, I just recently put out a video called Condoms If for Touring. The star is actually sitting over there. That's Marquise Wright, or Lee Wright. You know, it's on YouTube. I ain't trying to do no plug. I just want to let you know, practice safe sex, because I've been pushing that shit for about a month and a half. And you know, these rappers are crazy out here with the shit that they be talking about. So, yeah. All right. First of all, shout out to my Illitix Philly Community College. Drop the mic and all the poets. Shout out to Temple as well, because y'all in the building too. African Americans accounted for an estimate of 47% of all new HIV infections, and that's a number that's rising recklessly. So if you're gonna dive in the mire, rest in peace, invest in a sea on domes. I got dreams of fucking an R&B bitch. Make a movie when she do me, porno star on the dick. Hollywood. Still won't change once them quarter C flips, but I'ma make it Hollywood and watch you all ET shit. Ooh. It's nothing like the toughest bike to rip the roads, hitting events at expensive clothes. My niggas know I'm off of this game, calling my dame. Think a nigga give oral sex on the track, how young motherfucker get it off from his brain, try to make hits, so I sit in Hall of the Fame. See, all I want is towards the bus. Rap my album on a touring bus. Stack my mileage when I Europe up. And pack my condoms for the whores and stuff, be Euro'd up, pouring guts out of Corona Dutch, Florida. When I join the rush on some slush, want something out the snow, pull it up, won't throw it up, unless I'm in the club. Repping my Illitix, blessing likes and killing shit. Stages, places, a Philly kid, I never thought I'd see. And God bless if I ever do, I have a suitcase full of revenue. And for them Betty Boops, these condoms is for touring. Touring. Can I get y'all in on this one? Y'all gonna fuck with me? Fuck with me, DJ. These condoms is for touring. 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 These condoms is for touring. Touring. Hey, touring. Touring. These condoms is for touring. Won't let these bitches play me and try to have a baby, or worse, I'm catching AIDS, chief. That's bullshit. I'm trying to catch a plane, chief, get high in the Mercedes. So, baby, these condoms is for touring. Check. Cause safer the sex, the greater the bliss. Should I admit that I have taken some risks and later regret when days be a mess for real? Now, call it what you wanna, but I'm gonna be 100. When you ball into their stomach, they want it. Nah, I ain't trying to see another mini-me till 10 years from now. For the time being, I'ma set a roof on fire with the water flow and tear it down. Be aware, clowns. Bitches ain't niggas with the get rich quicker schemes. They bad as nicotine. Use your ass for a grip of things. Even grab them a thick of things. That's draw. Get them demons out yo circle. They'll hurt you. I work through all shades of darkness. They defend my flame, so when I hit a stage, I bang, bang. Like a grenade that spark clips. She keefing it. Only thing next is Glory Boy, and I'm eating it. En route, eagerly elevating easily. But I ain't trying to go out like Easy E over Freaky Freaks. Gold Mag B2C. I tell them before I beat the cheeks, these condoms is for touring. Thank y'all.
Poet on deck is Alicia. And coming to the mic, we have Christina O. Please put your hands together for Christina O.
Babel. All right, I got one piece, and I called this Trip to Golden Gates. I was taught to never question God. This teaching was an act of protection to say, never trip in the name of faith when you realize that just because he is there does not mean he will answer. Omnipresent you be, God, so I know you ain't busy. Grandma, Aunt Ida Mae, and Cousin Juanita never allow me to forget that you are still in the miracle-working business. But I guess you're booked. I guess where you work, you do not take long-distance calls, and you are too great for landline requests. So tell me, God, am I hitting the nail on the head? You see, I am no longer afraid of the truth that is that this mind and this body have now registered as a mistake to you. Heavenly Father, Holy Spirit, must I die with arms stretched out wide in submission, screaming with nightmare lungs to be one of your chosen? See, I've exhausted all options of relief. To be asked to hear from you, to be asked to join you. You see, I forgive you, Father, for you know not what you have done. Reminding me of the only route I know well enough to get to you. So as I prepare for my trip to your golden gates, I adjust my bow tie of a noose, and I check for the shades of red in the closet of my wrist. You see, I've never been good with Sunday's best. When I arrive, you will say, how did you find me? Why did you take your life before I got the chance to? You will tell my grieving parents that I acted as a candle in every room. But now I'm with you, God. But let's be honest. The flame has been extinguished, and we know that in my world, when I jump, when I hang, when I tell this heart of mine to stop talking and this blood of mine to sit still, you and everyone else will call it an accident. You will say that I fell from the 18th floor of grace. You will say that it was a case of she didn't know what she was doing, a case of her time here was done. And though I will be absent, there will be plenty of cries and punctured hearts and prayers, and I just hope that you'll be there to answer them. Thank you.
Poet on deck is Kai. And coming to the mic, we have one of our Drop the Mic judges, Alicia. Please show your love for Alicia.
Like a real life hiatus, but I love y'all. 7 years and 7 months. He took one sip. That's where his problem began. No one could save him because he was drowning in that sin. So young with so much to give, but he won't give himself his chances. He's so in love with it. Is it the shape? Is it the taste? Maybe he's in love with the chase because he loves to chase his pills with it. He cheated on his girl with it, lost custody of his kids to it. It made him lose everything, especially his mind. So lost in his bottle, not even GPS can help him find himself. And his mother, she won't take her hands off of him because that's her only son, and he won't listen to his stepdad, his only father, because his real daddy went astray. So all moms and dads could do was get on their knees and pray as his little sister sits back and wonder what she could do or say, because see, she loves him to death but hates the way he's tossing his life away. Nah, he's literally drinking his life away. Bruises on the outside and the inside slowly crumbling. Cuts and stitches from falling down drunk and stumbling, and he keeps falling into this bottle so deep. And I tried, I swear I tried, but my arm was not long enough to reach. And I know sometimes love is enough, but in this case, why couldn't it be? Why couldn't it be enough to save my brother's life? Okay. So I did this homage to Philly, right? It's called my Philly John. If most of y'all in here from Philly, y'all know we use John to substitute words that we cannot come up with the name for. So it could be a relationship, an item. So I didn't know what I wanted to call this poem, so I'm like, yo, it's my Philly John. I'm still in love with my city. Even though it does not give love brotherly, sometimes standing at the center of it, parking love, it shines in darkness, yes. I am still very much in love with you. Even though you've dealt me many causes of pain, family members left slain in street school systems and shambles, and politicians with chips on their shoulder bluffing, as if this place is a gamble. Sometimes you could be so cold-shouldered, hard to lean on you, yet when glazed in ice, I keep falling for you. Because you ignite heated nights with passion. And I see so much beauty in your horizon, my home, the place that I reside in, even though not quite safe. I can still rest, nestled up and harm-free, dodging bullets with each gunshot outside my window that alarms me. I still wake to you, my city, drugged in brotherly hate code, Cain and able to show these streets how sweet junkies are on a white. Pigs targeting our male men, not delivering the message that I knew as kids, that we are pals. Now all you hear is they gun, go pow, and the sport they play is stop and frisk. Resist and run a risk of becoming Askia, or learning there's no liberty in that bell. Just ask Sean. No longer able to reside in the heart of you, but your womb birthed me in a room and temple, so in my heart and in my mind I still will worship and remember you. Standing at that city hall, been time watches, it's all 95, 76, see so many come, see so many go. Yet I remain. Though I must leave you, I will always find home in your name, Philly. I love you.
One more time for Alicia. So I want to give this next poet a proper introduction. I'm so excited to have Kai Davis here today. I know that Kai is an inspiration to many of the poets who are part of Drop the Mic. She is a two-time international Grand Slam champion, both of Brave New Voices and Cup C. She is also the artistic director of Babel Poetry Collective from Temple University from 2012-2016. She is also a co-host of the Pigeon Poetry Slam here in Philadelphia. And I am just so honored to have her here. I've always just watched her videos, you know, just like everybody else on YouTube, even though we're both in Philly. And I had the honor of performing with her for the first time a couple of weeks ago as part of the Monument Lab with the Mural Arts program. And, you know, every time I just was really feeling very blessed to be able to see her perform live. And I'm here you know, feeling blessed again that she's going to be gracing our stage and blessing the mic because she brings the fierceness, right? So everyone, please put your hands together for Kai Davis.
Just do the poem now. The introduction was really good. I wake up with an apology already forming in my mouth. This is what it means to be a contradiction. Too black to be a woman and not man enough to be black. This is what it means to occupy a vacant space. Have everyone slash each cross-stitched intersection of my identity with a straight blade. Tell me to pick one label or none at all. But ain't I a woman? When a black man tells me I'm too thick for my own good, when he follows me down the street, when I say no in 3 different octaves, ain't I a woman? When a white girl in my class calls us we, speaks of a universal need, says woman is the new black, talks picket signs like I've never marched before, talks injustice like I never met a cop before, when she hushes me then speaks on my behalf, ain't I a woman? Ain't I a woman when the moon is full? When my mother rolls my naps in her palms, when my father shouts Harambe 7 times on New Year's Day, and I've been writing this poem for 3 years straight, ain't Sojourner Truth been doing the same, ain't Bell Hooks, ain't Intozaki Shange, ain't this the story that never makes the news? The vacant space that fills the airwaves, the silence of unwritten eulogies, ain't this Liberia, ain't this Haiti, ain't this North Philly? Didn't a white girl closed mouth smile at me today? Tell me I'm beautiful, then hack apart my body, wear my lips, ass, and hair like a costume? Didn't she sell all 13 of my children and lynch my husband? Didn't she ask me to be quiet one too many times? Didn't I bruise a black man's ego swole today?
Ask him to stop calling my scars sacrifices, calling my suffering an inconvenience, a blemish on the black man's movement, as if MLK didn't suck milk from a black woman's tit. But ain't I a bitch? Ain't I bitter? Ain't I divisive by accident? Don't I complicate the revolution with all my grievances? Ain't I still grieving? Ain't this my middle finger? Ain't I'm finally done apologizing? I am not an obstacle to navigate through. I'm the reason you are breathing. The feet that trod out the path, even the light that subverted all your darkness. Am I not the pulse of every one of your revolts? Ain't I a woman? Ain't I a woman? Ain't this a rhetorical question?
Show your love one more time for Kai Davis. So I am going to share 2 poems with you guys today just because I don't know if I'll ever see you guys again. So I just want to take this opportunity to share. So the first poem that I'm going to share is called Notes from the Underground. And just really quick context before I perform it. I wrote it, it's a poem that I used to perform a long time ago and then I stopped. And I pulled it out of the crates recently because of just, the shit that's going on. I'm just pissed off about it, right? The climate, the political climate, cultural climate, all of that kind of thing. And so I updated it a little bit. But the original inspiration for this piece was to remember the 20th anniversary of Vincent Chin's murder. And if you guys don't know who Vincent Chin was, he was a Chinese-American man who was murdered in 1982 by 2 white auto workers who blamed the reason for why they had been laid off on the Japanese auto industry. And they saw him at a bar. It was his bachelor party. He was getting married the next day. And they referred to him as a racial epithet. And he defended himself. And then they got angry that he defended himself. And so they waited for him to leave, and they followed him out. And they chased him in front of the McDonald's, and they beat him to death with a baseball bat. And they were acquitted of his murder. And so the Vincent Chin murder has come to represent the ways in which anti-Asian violence happens in Asian American communities, but you don't hear it being reported in the media. And so I was in 2002, I was in Detroit for the 20th anniversary of his death, some remembrance events, and the last day we were at the cemetery at his gravesite, and that's where this poem begins. It begins at the gravesite. Remember. I've been using this word a lot lately, but I wonder if I've been using it right. I mean, how do we remember ourselves? Repair our dismembered selves? I hear the Reverend say, our speaking is just the beginning, but I stand in this cemetery that sings notes from the underground, and I wonder if silence ever really ends. Especially in this Detroit summer swelter where I can't breathe enough to feed the humid hunger of this place. But then I dream a breeze waltzes down my body and breathes life into this dirt, singing his notes from the underground, notes that windsurf on the early summer air until it's whispered in heart chords, the chimed tears of remembrance. And I cry, even though I didn't know him. And I wish I had a private moment to think about the difference between quiet and silence, listening and hearing, feeling and being, seeing and knowing. But all I have is this place that's become my pilgrimage and these people who have become my people. The family of Vincent Chin, my people. The family of Joseph Aledo, my people. The students from the University of Michigan, my people. These poets, musicians, singers, artists, my people, these Christians, these Muslims, these Jews, my people, and I wonder, when did we cease to be a people? At what point does conscience collapse so that we fail to remember ourselves before we swing a baseball bat? Before we squeeze the trigger 41 times? Before we drag black men to their deaths down Texas roads? Before we bomb Afghanistan? Before we strap bombs to our bodies and become suicide bombers? Before we rape women in war? Before we abandon war babies? Before we invade Iraq? Before we shoot a 19-year-old Hmong youth 8 times in the back? Before we kill unarmed African-American men who have their hands up? Before we beat and burned and laid for dead gay men on Wyoming fences before we stabbed to death Muslim women because they're wearing a hijab, before we dismember ourselves, because this list could go on and on and on to sever us with language that represents action without conscience. And in this moment, every part of me wants so badly to sing in retaliation and to dismember the moment I remember of being on bended knee, returning notes I receive from the underground. A clicking noise warns that a beheading is coming. His snapshots quickly hunt me down and freeze me with questions just as intrusive as his camera. Why are you here? What is your connection? And I am too stunned by the demand for an answer to put into words the calling in my heart. So I remember, I say simply, I am an Asian American woman. It was important for me to be here. And I remember I spilled my tears onto red and yellow carnations that dance with baby's breath under the June Detroit sun. Thank you. So the last poem that I'm going to perform is Ancestor Worship. Anyone who's ever seen me perform knows that I close out all of my sets with Ancestor Worship. It's a poem that I wrote to honor my Korean ancestors, and when I honor my ancestors, I also honor yours. This is Ancestor Worship. I am lifetimes infinite, billion strong. I learned this song from the ancestral throng who within me danced a double helix. Feel this, the whip genetic hurricanes in my veins gain perpetuity like a pair of cranes. Korean symbol of longevity, their bodies and spirits don't weigh heavy on me. I am who I am because of men like Yun Chun Hee, grandfather, 1 in a billion ancestor, who lived to prepare my destiny or my harmony. Shin Dae Sun, I don't need a reason. It's always a celebrate your ancestor season. Season me Korean, nothing else I'd rather be in this lifetime. It's my time to shine and pave the way for generations next to join me in pride expressed for this mind, this body, this spirit fed X from blood to blood. A billion-gallon flow and fam to fam that span eternal through my Korean maternal line. I need to find my space, to find my face in this ancestral embrace that is skin tight, but my skin fits me just right. And like a person who's lost their sight, I search the contours of my face for a trace of this or that ancestor who's melded into my skin forever. They're all there, my ancestral throng, for I am, we are, lifetimes infinite and billion strong. Thank you. So did y'all enjoy the poetry that you heard today? Everybody say yeah, I hope. Please give it up for our special guest poets who are here today visiting us from Temple University, the Babel Poetry Collective. Please show your love for Temple University and Babel Poetry Collective. Please also show your love to Kai Davis for connecting us and gracing our stage, blessing the mic. Please give it up for our Drop the Mic poets one more time. And this closes out season 4 of Drop the Mic, and we hope to see you again next year. Bye, everyone. Good night.